Men, you will have to turn your head and cough for an 80-year-old man who has been doing nothing but that for the past 30 years. What's up, friends? Welcome to my YouTube channel. Now, if you don't already know me, hi, my name is Stephanie Rennie, and I am a 6-year United States Army veteran. In today's video, I'm going to be talking to you about the process that I went through to join the military. Now, keep in mind, this was 8 years ago, so things have likely changed. Make sure to ask your recruiters a lot of questions, but let's get started. So I grew up in Wyoming, but in 2012, I was living in Florida at the time, and I was living in a pretty rough neighborhood. And by rough, I mean on my way there, I was Googling cheapest apartments in Tampa, Florida. I was working 2 jobs to support myself. They were minimum wage jobs, kind of go nowhere jobs. One was GameStop and the other one was Great American Cookies. And I was working 24/7 for like pennies on the dollar. I couldn't afford college at this point. I couldn't get a student loan. I had pretty much nobody to support me. I didn't know anybody there. I didn't have, family to support me or financially. It just wasn't in the cards. And I was scraping by. I was shopping at the dollar store for everything, groceries, cleaning supplies, anything you could think of, that one-ply toilet paper. Yeah, that was me living in Florida. I tell you all this because I kind of want you to know the headspace that I was in when I decided to join the military. So I was just struggling every day, working to the bone, and I was kind of over it. I needed to figure out, how can I go back to college, get my degree so I can get out of the place where I'm at right now. And that meant either waiting till I was 25 where I could qualify for my own student loan and get enough credit to do that, or join the military or win the lottery. Well, I probably wasn't gonna win the lottery, and I was only 19 at this time, so I didn't want to wait till I was 25 to do anything with my life. So I called up an Air Force recruiter, and they didn't call me back. I left a message saying I would like to join, or I would like some more information. And my thought was, I thought the military needed more bodies. That's where I thought. But apparently they didn't. So I took that as a sign that it wasn't my time to join the military. So a couple months went by, and things at GameStop and Great American Cookies started to go downhill. I was out at lunch one day, and I'm getting ready to go back to work. I got my food and I'm eating it in my car. And I look up, and Army recruiting station is right in front of me. And I'm like, screw it, I'm going in. And so I just walked in there, and I was like, I think I want to join the Army. And they just looked at me, no sales pitch. They said, okay, well, here's a packet. Do you know why you want to join? And I said, honestly, I want to go back to college, and this seems like a pretty good opportunity. I couldn't really remember what all the information that they asked me when I first joined, because like I said, this was 8 years ago. So I actually contacted a recruiter today to figure out what that packet looked like. If I was just walking in and I said I want to join, what packet of information are they going to hand me to fill out? And they said that it was an SF-86, a standard form 86. So I will link that below, or you can Google it, just to figure out what you might need to join the military, information that you're going to have to gather. Regardless, you are going to need to fill out some things, and it's going to be stuff like your medical history, your education, your birth certificate, social security card, a driver's license. You are going to need your GED or high school diploma, all your transcripts, any college information that you have. It's a quite extensive amount of information that you're going to need to fill out, but they will tell you all of that, so don't freak out. Do it one at a time. One at a time. You'll get through it. Trust me. Keep in mind that everybody goes through this. Everybody has to do the same thing, so don't panic. It's the first step to becoming property of the Army, so they want to know exactly what they're buying. Kidding! You're not property, but you will be contractually obligated once you join the military, and you can't just quit. So I fill it out and I bring it back, and they want me to sit down and take this sample Asvab test. What's an Asvab test? I'm glad you asked. It's an aptitude test, and it's going to tell the Army what job is perfect for you, or a series of jobs that might be good for you. Each branch has their own minimum score. For the Army, that's a 31. That's the lowest minimum score in the military that you can join. And then it goes all the way up to 39 as the highest minimum score, and that's the Air Force. Honestly, don't worry about that score. Don't worry about the overall score. Yes, it's important so you can get into the military and maybe for some bragging rights, I guess, but ultimately that score is broken down into different categories that you're tested in, and those are more important because whichever one you score like pretty high on is likely the job selection that you're going to be best paired up with. And also, once you're in the military, you can retest and increase that score. You can also change your job. So if you don't qualify for a job and you just want to get in the military, then get in, retest, and you can reclassify. But I will talk about all of that in detail in another video. So just bear with me. Anyway, so I proved that I could pass, and I scheduled another time to take the real test. I did not study for this test at all. Maybe you should. I personally didn't. I just, went in overconfident, winged it, and I didn't get a terrible score, but I also didn't score amazing. So, take that for what it's worth. So now it's testing day. Now this is probably a couple days or a week later. I can't really remember. It goes quick. So once you fill out all the paperwork, you take the practice test, and then they send you to take the real test, and it just goes boom, boom, boom. So 3 of us went to take the test together from my station, and it was pretty long. There's 10 sections to this test. So they're going to be asking you, math questions. They'll give you an equation. You have to solve it. They're going to give you some science questions, reading and English tests, and then mechanical, which was probably my worst. I'm pretty sure on my results it was my worst subject. So they showed me a picture and they said, "What is this?" And I said, "Easy. That's a hammer." And I look at the answers, no idea. Didn't have any clue that this regular hammer had a name. Nope, and I'm pretty sure I got it wrong. Probably put ball peen or something like that. Yep. So you finish, you get your results in a nice envelope, and all 3 of us opened it in the car on the way back to the recruiting station because we just didn't want to wait. And the 3 of us represented the spectrum for this test. So I was in a car with a man that got a 98 on the test. You can only score, I think a 99 is the highest score, and he scored a 98. So genius level. He probably prepared. And then the other guy, he scored a 29, which is obviously not passing. He cannot join the military at that point. He has to retake the test. And then there was me, and I'm pretty sure I scored a 78 on the test, which I know it sounds not great, but bear with me, it's not that bad. So now that you have your test done, they're going to want you to choose your job. Now they might give you a list of jobs that you're qualified for, or maybe you have some jobs in mind that you already want, so they don't have to go through that. For me, I did not see a list. I did not know what I was qualified for. They didn't tell me what I was qualified for. I did not do my research. Nothing. Now, learn from my mistake. Do your research. Figure out what you want to do before you even go to the recruiter. What are you interested in? And they probably have something pretty close. Now that I knew I was qualified, I just told them I want something in computers, and I left the station. I did not look into what jobs that could even possibly be. They do have a list of jobs. Just do your research. I couldn't be there on the day that they wanted me to choose it. I was working at GameStop that day. So all they did was call me and say,
"Hey, we found a job that you might like."
So I rush back to the back, and I go into the bathroom, and I shut the door, and I'm in a 3x3 space with a toilet and a sink and a mirror, and I'm standing in front of the mirror surrounded by toys and consoles. Some of you GameStop people, you guys know what I'm talking about. That back room is the size of a closet, and they just pile stuff everywhere. So I'm standing in this room and I'm like, all right, tell me about this job. What will I be doing? And he goes, well, I'm not really sure, but I think it's nerdier than my job. That's great to start with, by the way. I know you'll be working with computers, and it says networking and working with systems, and it sounds really cool. I think you want to take it. This is the only one available, and I haven't seen this one come available in the last year. And I'm like, okay, sounds great. Bye. Because I had to get back out to the floor. I'm working. Anyway, I'm pumped. It sounded like a great sales pitch to me. Sounded like a perfect job for me, so I'm ready. So yes, even with a score in the 70s, you might still get a job that you want. So just before freaking out about your score, ask what your options are. So boom, I have a job and they are ready to schedule me for Meps. That's the Military Entrance Processing Station. It's a physical and administrative process that takes about 2 days to complete. So, set aside some time. This could be a few days before you go to basic training, or you could end up going to Meps, passing, and then being put into the delayed entry program. That was me, because like I said, mine was 6 months out from going, so I needed to get through the process, and then they'd put me into that. Now, the delayed entry program is just a commitment saying that you are joining the military, but you can change your mind at any time between when you sign up for the military and swear in and all that to when you actually leave for basic training. Do not let them tell you that you need an excuse or you have to go or make you feel guilty. You can change your mind at any time with no explanation. So, on the day of Meps, or the night before Meps, actually, I was so nervous, I couldn't sleep. I was on the couch, I had my alarm set, I'm freaking out. I didn't go to bed until 3 a.m. and I'm pretty sure I had to leave at 5 a.m. or be awake at 5 a.m. or something like that. Anyway, it was very limited sleep, and I can't remember if they were telling me I had to be at Meps at that time or if they were supposed to pick me up. It's kind of fuzzy, but regardless of the situation, I'm asleep and I hear boom, 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 boom on my door. I jump up off the couch. I'm freaking out. I look at the time. I'm like, oh no, I'm late. And I open the door and I get my stuff together real quick. You could tell they're mad and freaking out, like, we got to go. Yes, I was late. And yes, I did get scolded in front of everybody. It was embarrassing because they were all in like a little formation, and then you have somebody in uniform at the front, and obviously me strolling up, late after they'd already done the briefing. They weren't going to do it again just for me, so yeah, that was a thing. Still haunts me to this day. So they give you all your paperwork when you're in there, and this is where they're going to talk to you about life insurance and go through all the admin stuff. They're going to reconfirm everything that you put on that SF-86. So make sure that everything you put is truthful. If you had a broken ankle, put that broken ankle on there, even if it was from who knows how long ago, because if it ends up popping up in your medical records, you could go to jail for lying on that document. So just be honest. Don't let your recruiter tell you to lie on the paperwork. If it's something minor, now they don't need to hear every paper clip that you've ever gotten. That is true. But don't lie about having asthma or something like that on your documents, because it will come up and you could get in some serious federal trouble. This is also the point where you decide if you want your student loans paid off or you want the GI Bill. Now, the GI Bill is going to give you college while you're in and after the military. Paying off your student loans means that you've already got a degree or you have a massive amount of student loan debt that they're just going to wipe clean for you. So choose your options carefully. I did have some student loan debt, but it was so minor and I didn't even get my degree. I knew I wanted to go back to college and finish, so I chose option B, which was the GI Bill, so that I could pay for the rest of my college with no debt. They are going to breathalyze you. Make sure that you're not drunk while about to swear into the military. They're going to take your blood to make sure that you're not on drugs. You have to take out all of your piercings. Men, you will have to turn your head and cough for an 80-year-old man who has been doing nothing but that for the past 30 years. Women, you will be examined as well. Your magic conch will be explored. Just be prepared. But my favorite of all tests is that duck walk. Now, that sounds ridiculous. They are going to set you up in a room with females only and then males only. It's a big empty room and you're gonna be in your underwear with everybody else and you're gonna get on the ground in a squat position and duck walk all the way across the room. That's fun for everyone. I assume that is to test your mobility. They do test for pregnancy and your eyesight. I don't have perfect vision. I'm nearsighted. I can see things I can kind of deduce what things are saying, what words are saying, like from far away, but I'm really terrible at those eye card exams. So you're in a long line of people that's reading the same line over and over and over. So by the time I got up there, I just memorized it and read what was on the card because my eyesight wasn't terrible enough to get glasses. Anyway, if you need glasses, they will issue them to you. You do not get to take your Gucci Prada glasses to basic training. You are going to get military glasses, and they are not cute. Now, if you don't pass a portion of the Meps stuff over those 2 days, you will get kicked back and either have to redo the whole thing, get a waiver, or you just won't be able to qualify to join the military. Then you swear in. Now you're going to be in your civilian clothes, you're going to sign your contract, and then you're going to stand in front of somebody, hold your right hand up, and swear in to the military. This is you declaring to a group of people that you are now part of this family. And you're done! And you can either go home like I did, or you're going to basic training. Thank you guys so much for sticking out to the end of this video. I know it was longer than usual, and it's just part 1. Part 2, I'm going to be talking about the 6 months from when I swore into the military to when I went to basic training. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you want to see more of my content, hit the subscribe button, ding the notification bell so you always know when my next video is coming. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!